Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Heian Godan and just the basics of it. I also have another Heian Godan video. I have a few others, and those talk about the more in-depth analysis, more advanced analysis. So you can go check that out. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the general overview for those who are just learning Heian Godan. So let's get started. So now I'm going to be talking about hand guarding. So this kata really emphasizes a lot of expansion, compression, and a lot of hip rotation. So first, it starts out with an inside block to the side, and what you want to make sure is dropping down to the side and pushing this left leg out. So you're dropping down, and as you're doing that, you're preparing to make the inside block. And then make sure you pull this hand back to get maximum hip rotation. This hand comes out to make the block. And then after that, you're gonna make a punch to the front. Make sure this leg doesn't collapse as you make the punch. So when you punch, don't do this. Just keeping it there while at the same time making sure your hip faces that direction. So you're gonna punch there and try to still use a lot of hip rotation without moving this back leg, which is going to be really hard. So you're punching, and then after that, you come up slowly. Make sure that most of your slow moves are at least 5 seconds long. And when you come up, make sure both of your hands cut in close to your body, so it's not coming out around. It's coming in close as if you're making a punch, but then you're turning it sideways so you punch to the side. Make sure this arm is somewhat slanted downwards, so that way water, I guess, could trickle down your arm to your fist. And then same thing on the other side, so you're making a block to the side, a punch, and then you're rising up, hook punching to the side. So same concepts apply there. And then next, you want to do a reinforced block in back stance, reinforced inside block. So make sure that when you make this move, your leg, when you're going down into your back stance, your leg keeps on going front, and at the last moment, then you twist out to the side. This does not apply to the hand. The hand obviously doesn't stay still and then get to the last minute. It prepares as you're going down into your stance, and then at the last minute, at the last second block. So you're facing front and then side. And then after that, making a downward X block. So here, make sure that both of your hands come up to your right shoulder. And then as you do that, you're stepping down into a front stance. And when you step down into your front stance, once you finish this, your hands should be coming from your right shoulder down, and as if it's blocking something, maybe a kick, and it's an X block. So so now your right hand is over your left is under when you're blocking, and make sure also that you get hip rotation in. It might be hard because you're just facing your hip to the front and then going down in, but you want to get as much power as possible into this move. And then make sure here your stance is really low, because this next movement requires you to draw back your front leg slightly. So you don't want to be in a normal stance and draw back to a higher stance, a really small stance. You want to be in a lower stance and draw back to a regular stance. So you're dropping in low, and then you pull up your your front leg. And as you pull up your front leg, these two hands that you have down here blocking, first they come up to your body, and then they block upwards, and this is also an X block. So except here, it's obviously blocking Godan, and your hands open up from a fist to open hand. And as you do that, you're pulling in this front leg. So it's something like this. And here, your right hand should be closer to you than your left hand. Your left hand should be farther. And make sure open hand. Make sure your elbow's not too out. You don't want to be doing this, but also not too in. Somewhere in the middle. I guess shoulder width apart for your elbows. And then after that, you wanna. This part is a bit tricky. So it's the first step of this move is going to be twisting your hands up in, I guess, a counterclockwise rotation, such that this happens. So you want to twist your hands at the heel of your palm. That's where the twisting occurs, and the final step, the final outcome of this first step of the move is something that looks like a Y. And you're just putting your two palms together, and it should make that look like what the first step is. So you twist out, but not the other way. That doesn't really work. So you're twisting out counterclockwise, and then the second step of this move is continuing this rotation and pulling it to the right side of your hip. So first out into almost a Y shape with your hands, and then pulling it in. And your right elbow should be as if it's drawing back in a punch, and your left hand should be on top of your right hand, and make sure that the palms are together. So you're spinning at the heel of your palms, and then the palms finally connect. And your right hand, the fingers of your right hand are facing front. The fingers of your left hand are facing to the right. And then obviously, so here first we gotta make sure that your hip is facing front. This is in preparation of the next move. So the next move is a hammer fist to the front. So here you're taking your left hand, which is on top of your right hand, pulling it to the front, and at the same time you're gonna want to pull your right hand even further back, because right now it's not too back. So pulling it further back, make sure your hip snaps to the side, and making a hammer fist. And then after that, you're gonna punch. So punch is a bit self-explanatory. So you punch, and this punch is your kiai. And make sure that when you punch, hip rotation, push your body forward, so that way you get more power into this technique. And then after you kiai here, you're gonna turn and face the other. You're gonna bring this front foot and go down here. So this front foot act as if you want to kick to the back, front kick to the back. So first you want to pull it up front, but you're not kicking. So you're pulling it up front, backwards, and then you're stomping down. And make sure that this leg, this front foot, is not coming around. That's a bit not time efficient. You want the shortest path, and the shortest path is cutting in directly. So you pull up front and down. In the meanwhile, your hand just makes a regular downward block, and you're blocking to the back. So act as if someone's gonna kick to your back from this punching position. You're pulling up your leg and you're blocking. And at the same time, you want to make sure that your height doesn't change. Your height keeps on constant throughout. You're not going up and then down with this technique. You're just going straight. And then after that, you're going to want to extend this hand, your left hand. So your right hand is the one that blocked. And then your left hand is the one that you want to extend. So this comes under your right armpit, and then it extends over, so like this. And at the same time, your right hand is covering over your left hand. And it extends, and then after that, we'll make sure first that as you do that, you're also not rising up. You're sinking down and making sure that you can may with this. So with your stance, just tighten everything and breathe out. And then also make sure that when you're doing this move, it's not opening like this. Your hand is not vertical throughout. It's first horizontal, and then at the last second, you flip up. So for the most part, your palm is facing down, and then at the last second, it's facing front. And then after this, you're going to do a crescent kick. So the crescent kick, it's like the move right after the Heian. It's not going to be around. It's going to cut in almost like a front kick, and then this is the part where it's different from the front kick. It's going to angle off. Instead of kicking front, it's going to angle off, kicking your hand. So it's going to come up, kick, and make sure that this front foot right here doesn't move and then come up to make that kick. It moves at the exact same moment when you pick up to make the kick. So you're restraining this foot from moving, and then you pick up, and then that's when it moves. And then when you do that, make sure you don't go up and down. Same height, kick, make sure you're kicking with the ball of your foot, and then you're dropping down into another horse riding stance and elbow striking your left hand. And then after this, you're gonna go into this, a cross-legged stance. So it's gonna be a reinforced block. So you reinforce block to the front in this stance, where this front foot, the leg is bent, and the other foot, the back leg, facing 45. So your right leg is in front and your back leg is supporting. And make sure that you spin on your heel when you turn. But also make sure that you don't pick up your feet when you turn. You pick up your toes when you turn. It's just sliding in. So you slide the toes in to face front. And then after this, you're gonna uppercut. So this right hand uppercuts up. And at the same time, your legs are moving out into an L-shaped stance. And basically, it's almost like a back stance, except it's cut closer. So from here, L-shaped stance, and this right hand punches straight up into an uppercut. This hand is reinforcing, the left hand is reinforcing up, and then you're facing front while your body is still facing side. And then after that, you're gonna jump, and after this jump is a Heian. So you're gonna want to pick up your legs as high up as possible, and your hands should draw back into should draw back next to your hips, and you're jumping. As you jump, you want to spin 180 degrees into the opposite direction that your body was originally facing. So you're going to jump up and down, and then this is a Kia. And again, this stance is the same cross-legged stance that we did previously. So you jump up with this, hold hands back, and then after that, you land down into your stance. And then this is a Kia, and make sure that you're not losing your balance here, because you do not want to stumble into your next move. You do not want your momentum to be continuing to go forward, and then you fall into the next move, which is in that direction. You want to stay down, drop down, all your force goes down, so that way you're stable. So Kia, and then after this, just launch into a forward stance with a reinforced block to this side. And your right hand is the one that's going to block. And then after that, you're going to turn Mawate. And when you do this, you're just switching your front stance, shifting your weight from here to here, and you're shifting this leg over. And as you do so, you want to spear hand. So your right hand spear hands down into Godan, and as you do so, this left hand comes up. Imagine that you're carrying a punch over, so you're blocking it. You're blocking some sort of attack. So your right hand, spear hands down, as your left hand comes over and almost covers your ear. But make sure obviously it's not touching your ear. It's a bit over. And make sure that this elbow is not up. It's just tight in. And then after this, you're making a Manjiyuke, a vortex block, where this left hand blocks down and this right hand blocks up, almost like an inside block up, but instead of blocking chest, you're blocking Godan. And as you do this, make sure this stance doesn't shrink. Make sure you don't pull this front leg in, so that way your back stance is a bit tiny. If anything, it would be nice if this front leg goes even deeper, but at least have it on the same vertical line, horizontal line. So you're blocking, and this is a quick movement. And then after that, you're drawing up slowly into almost a standing position. So you draw up slowly, and you're still keeping this upper body posture. And then after this, you want to turn, make a vortex block with the other set. So your right hand, which is up top, blocks down, while your left hand on the bottom blocks up. And you're just facing 180 degrees over. And then same thing, you just dive into this move, spear hand to Godan, blocking Godan or Trudan, and then vortex block. And then that's the end of the kata. And then you just bow. So now I'm going to be doing hand Godan without count. Heian, Godan! Ready? So that will be about it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot about Heian Godan. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to see more product reviews.